My presentation will be about the art and science of making product release decisions, and what you can expect from this webinar to take home is knowledge how to better perform release planning. We all know that incremental development is nowadays the de facto standard for software, and not only software development. And the challenging question is which features can be offered when, and also why we want to offer these features at a certain point in time. This sounds like a simple question. However, we all know that the daily business of a product manager is challenging, because these features are never fixed, so they are permanently updated. New features arise, and this has to be synchronized with the resources you have available for your development, and it has to be synchronized with customer needs and expectations. These things are changing as well. So all in all, this ends up in a very complex scenario. And what we try to address here is this process of release planning, and how it can be organized in a way that the results are the best possible for the customers under the given constraints. My presentation is going through 8 sections, and I will give you first motivation, and I've started with that already, and then I will go to road mapping for one product. I will present you a case study to illustrate my points. I'm addressing replanning, looking at not only functionality-oriented planning, but also looking at non-functional requirements, looking at this balance between functionality versus quality. I look also in more depth into the human resource planning side to some extent, and finally giving some outlook for planning even of multiple products. So that is the program we have here for this roughly 1 hour we are working together. Now, the planning effort, and I'm referring here to Mike Cohn's planning onion. First of all, problems prevented or problems solved. So that is a kind of theme behind planning when we look at the different levels of planning. And you can see here that there are very different levels, ranging from high-level strategic planning over portfolio, product, release, iteration, and even the daily planning. So this is a hierarchy of planning levels, and we look in this seminar primarily at product planning, product release planning, iteration, and even to some extent at the daily planning. So the inner 4 layers are what we are interested in today. And again, the value of planning can be summarized by the statement, problems prevented or problems solved. So any effort you're doing upfront, being proactive versus reactive, helps you maybe to do a better job. What is a roadmap? So roadmap is another word for the sequence of product release contents. So it gives us orientation of what comes when, and this is the key question behind product release planning. So this orientation, why it is important. We have different reasons why road mapping or product release planning, I use this synonymously, is important. It's first of all the necessary alignment of your development efforts with the business objectives. So a roadmap helps you to achieve this alignment, and this is not important for just academic reasons. A better alignment of your products with the business objective, of course, increases the chance that you improve your business. We have the alignment not only with the business objectives, but also with all the stakeholder expectations and customer needs, which initially assumes you understand them, which is non-trivial by far. And secondly, it also asks for how to achieve them. And this is, again, something we are looking at today. The roadmap also helps you to secure and justify all the requested funding, including also the human resources. You get a better picture of what is necessary, which amount and which type of resources is needed to achieve your product goals. From the perspective of the customers, stakeholders, so the roadmaps give them a chance to see what you're planning. So it is a marketing tool in some way as well. You can advertise and position the product on the market, and that is something which increases your chance to have competitive products announced early enough. And finally, roadmaps are important also for internal reasons because it helps you to create your development plan and create the buy-in, achieve the buy-in from the internal development team, so they know what is planned for, and so they can better organize their own work towards achieving these goals. So in brief, there is good reason to look at roadmaps. How does a roadmap looks like? So roadmaps, by the way, are not only for products. We can consider roadmaps also for services. And the example I'm showing you right now is exactly a roadmap where you can see a sequence of services offered here. In January 2010, according to this roadmap, we have a number of services ranging from backlog management to SAP Phase 2 service, and the same way we have then follow-up services in May 2010 and in October 2010. So what you can imagine is that this result of a road mapping process is a selection of services from a much larger set of services you typically consider. So the same for product features. So we have the situation that the wish list of all your customers is by far larger than what you ever had a chance to address. So there is a selection problem, first of all, which are the most essential features you want to look at. And secondly, there is a sequencing problem. You cannot offer them all right away, so you have to perform an incremental process of offering sequences of features, and that is another, of course, challenge. You have to look which features should be offered at which point in time. So that is what we are talking about today. Roadmaps, it's roadmaps for products, it can be roadmaps for services, and that is, the plan to give you the necessary background for these planning processes. Why is this road mapping or product release planning difficult? Is it difficult at all? You know the answer already, but I want to, of course, go into some further detail why it is supposed to be difficult. First of all, there is, and there will be 4 dimensions of these difficulties. The first dimension relates to all the constraints, and we have here what is called hard constraints, which have to be fulfilled under all circumstances. And then we have soft constraints, which are not strictly formulated, but you have to look at them as well. And soft constraints might refer even to quality. And all these constraints, of course, limit your possibilities to offer features, so you have to look at the constraints and what is possible in considerations of all these constraints. The second dimension relates to all the objectives, and we know from product development there is not only one, there is a variety of objectives from usability, security, reliability, maintainability, portability, and this is just a selection of possible even more